to the SBR NHL Double Play. We are back. It's the Play of the Day video presented by Sportsbook Review for Tuesday, November the 5th. I'm Ian Cameron, and who is this guy with me? Who's this stranger? I didn't know I had a colleague on this show. I didn't know I had a co-host. Who's this guy? Oh,
I'm sorry,
I know
man.
It's Adam Booth returning to the program and rejoining me after a week hiatus. Adam, welcome back. It's good to have you back.
Thanks. I don't know if you saw my tweet an hour ago, but I genuinely felt bad sort of leaving you here to post my play and yours last week. But you did a tremendous job. But I'm back now, and we'll keep on rolling.
Absolutely, and we hope to keep on rolling with the Play of the Day, both of us in profit this season with the Play of the Day recommendations, at least in terms of these videos. The record that we display with the picks is going to be the plays that are recommended on these videos specifically, although if you check out sportsbookreview.com on a daily basis, you'll know Adam's got a blog, an article, and a Play of the Day every single day, even on the days we don't shoot and record a live video. So make sure you check those out every day, the NHL section of sportsbookreview.com. So let's get right to it. Let's start with the returning Adam Booth with his Play of the Day as he looks to extend. Very nice run here with the video plays, 9-3 plus 5.82 units of profit for Adam this season with these NHL Play of the Day recommendations. He's going to the St. Louis Blues Vancouver Canucks matchup for his play on this Tuesday card, courtesy of SBRodds.com. Make sure you're using that resource every day to get the best line and price with each of your wagers. Currently at SBRodds.com, Vancouver minus 120 to minus 125 in that range as home favorites in this game. Total 5.5 in some spots, 6 in others. Perfect example of why SBRodds.com is something you need to be using. If you like the under, no reason not to get a 6. And if you like the over, no reason not to get a 5.5 with this game. Adam, where are you going with this matchup, Blues and Canucks?
Yeah, so it's never easy betting against the Blues. I mean, given the season they just had, and they're obviously off to a good start again this year, but their numbers, despite the wins, aren't actually that great. And there's a discrepancy with them and Vancouver. And that's mostly what this bet is based on tonight. I have the Canucks at 60% to win this game. And even though I've seen the line come up I took it at 1.8, which is minus 125. It's come up, 5-7 cents at a few places. There's considerable value here, and I am not worried about that small movement. Even if it came up to like a 1.9, minus 110 each way. Vancouver is playing the better hockey. They're at home. They are not on a back-to-back. They're playing a Blues team that is coming out west for their, Western Canadian 3-game trip here. And it's not that I'm looking to fade the Blues, but they are not – the value is not with them, even though they're the small dog and they're the defending Stanley Cup champions. They have a slightly better power play than Vancouver, but their penalty kill is worse. Their save percentage is worse. Most of the important analytics, hockey analytics that I look at, they're just slightly worse, but some significantly. Vancouver is creating many more scoring opportunities, many more in their favor, many more high danger opportunities. They're better in their own zone. And we've seen that Binnington, when I've mentioned this a few times, Binnington is a good goalie, but he is not going to carry them through games in which he faces too many quality opportunities. This is not the Stanley Cup playoffs, and the Blues are just simply not throwing the same amount of bodies in front of pucks. So the only reason that the Canucks lose tonight is if they don't play well. They don't play like they have been playing, and that can happen to any team. The Blues could play their best game of the season tonight and take the win, and fair enough, we lose it. But the value is with Vancouver, and as I said, I have them at 60%. So if you're getting them anything above 1.8, you've got a significant edge there. So it's a straightforward play for me. I know it's not, as I said, it's not easy to go against the Blues, but I'm not going to overthink the numbers here and just go straight with it.
I can't argue with that. Vancouver's playing great hockey. I'm in no rush to step in front of the Canucks right now at this point in time. You look at the way they've played. Their offense has been rolling. Their power play has been outstanding. There was a great quote I read the other day from Brock Besser talking about just how good the power play has been, saying we got great rhythm right now. We're great chemistry with our power play unit. We're moving the puck well. We're keeping the.
And I think Hughes will be back in as well today. Is that right?
There is a chance. I mean, morning skate, we still have to wait for all that to play out. Of course, morning skate's always the day of the game is where you find out who's in and who's out of the guys that are questionable, quote unquote. But there is at least, I know, a chance that Quinn Hughes is back tonight on that blue line for the Vancouver Canucks, and they're certainly going to be happy to have him back. But they're talking about just how they're feeling it offensively. And let's not forget, during this great run that Vancouver's put together in their last 10 or 11 games, one of the few losses in regulation or overall was that loss against Anaheim, where they lost in overtime, they dominated the game. It was really stolen for Anaheim by John Gibson that night when they beat the Canucks. So they just continue to play really good hockey. I can't fault you for trying to ride this team right now. And St. Louis is just skirted by. They've done just enough to get by.
Yeah, like these overtime wins against the Wild and
Minnesota.
It's far from convincing. And as I said in the article, good teams win games they shouldn't. And St. Louis did it plenty of times last year. They can do it again tonight here. But again, what we're looking for is making consistent good bets. And Vancouver is the right bet tonight, despite being the shorter number.
All right. Like in Vancouver at minus 120, actually out there right now in terms of the Vancouver side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to edit the price that I've got listed here for Adam's bet, because it is a better number right now. Vancouver minus 120 against St. Louis.
No, Ian, I used the 125 for me. That's what I took it at. Yeah, no, I appreciate that. But no, I the numbers I post are the ones that I got. So sometimes it's better later on in the day. Sometimes it's worse later on in the day. But I like to just go with the minus 125.
No problem. All right. No problem. We'll keep that. But Vancouver as a home favorite to get the job done against the St. Louis Blues for Adam. Again, he's 9-3 plus 5.82 units. Finally, I got a winner the other day. We had gone through a little bit of a rough stretch. Unfortunately, some tough beats.
It's true.
Well. But finally, Toronto rewards me in a 11-round shootout victory against the Philadelphia Flyers. I had to wait a while for that one to finally come through, but finally it did. So we're back on the plus side of the ledger, plus 0.2 units, 6-6 record for me. It's frustrating because I'm having a phenomenal NHL season, a lot of winning days, and unfortunately we've just made the wrong selection too many times with the play of the day, and that's going to happen sometimes.
Yeah, I said, this is why I said at the top of my play of the day article, which is something we've mentioned on the show, we're here to try to isolate valuable picks. And again, it's about the long-term thing. So, going through a patch of 4 losses in a row, it's not great for sometimes your confidence, but at the same time, you're saying it's just the order that they came in. Overall, I'm liking the reasons that I'm making the selections, and at the end of the season, I'll find out whether it was the positive expected value that I was looking for.
Yeah, exactly. So people have been asked on Twitter, your play of the day records right around 500, but your NHL records, my documentation site, Handicappers Watchdog, says, your higher units. It's because that's all the plays that are there. This is just one play on this video. So I got to make sure he pointed that out to me. But nevertheless, it was good to win with the Toronto Maple Leafs on Saturday night. See if we can deliver another winner tonight. We're going to go to the New Jersey Devils Winnipeg Jets matchup for our plate in this card tonight. Again, SBRodds.com has Winnipeg minus 130 home favorites. The total 6.5 shaded to the over minus 115. And I think for the New Jersey Devils, who are starting to feel a little bit better about themselves, slowly but surely, nice win for them Saturday night against the Carolina Hurricanes in a place that's not very easy to win. Found a way to get the job done. Give them credit for that. You look at this New Jersey team who has talked about, trying to get a little bit better defensively and have their goaltending improve. I think they're resigned to the fact that even after all this talk where they said, we got to really work on things in our own zone. Well, it really hasn't transitioned or really hasn't shown itself on the ice that they've improved at all defensively. We continue to see New Jersey regularly and routinely now getting into these 4-3, 5-4 type of hockey games. It's just been one after the other. after another with them in terms of just, they're finally getting their offense going, but their defensive play remains below average. They've got a bad penalty kill, and their power plays actually started to perk up in recent games. They're taking on a Winnipeg Jets team, and if you remember, these teams played earlier this season in New Jersey. Wild high-scoring game that was. That was the famous game, one of many games this year where the New Jersey Devils had a comfortable lead and were not able to hold on to that comfortable lead. Winnipeg came back to beat them. One of, again, many games where the New Jersey Devils have had 1-goal leads, 2-goal leads in the third period, and have not
3-goal leads, 4-goal leads,
have not been able to hold the fort at all with some of these games. So they're going to remember that. I actually lean a little to the Devils' side, but my play here, and as you're going to see right now on the screen, is on the total in this game. We're going to go over 6.5 minus 114. It feels like a no-brainer. Sometimes when it feels and looks like a no-brainer, you sometimes lose those kind of bets when it looks too easy. But how do we not see goals in this game? I really can't fathom anything less than 3 goals for each of these teams. Winnipeg got Patrick Laine back on Saturday, and he got on the score sheet for them. They're starting to get some of their weapons back offensively. They're still very banged up on defense. They might have Nathan Beaulieu back, but just as they get him back, Tucker Poolman suffers an injury on that Winnipeg blue line the other night, and he'll miss time now as well. So it's just, you can't get cohesion and chemistry with your defensive pairs when one guy's coming back finally, but now another guy's going out. I mean, it's just a constant mishmash. And when you don't have those pairs defensive pairs where it's, similar pairs game to game, you're not going to develop that chemistry. You're going to make mistakes in your own zone. You're going to cough up the puck. You're going to have bad body position when you're defending in front of your own net. And that continues to be an issue for the Winnipeg Jets, as well as the fact they're giving up 30, 40, 50 shots a night in a lot of games lately. And that's not going to work, and that's not going to be a recipe for good defensive hockey in the long term. You got Winnipeg more than capable of scoring goals tonight against a New Jersey team that has shown you repeatedly they can give up goals in bunches. One of the worst teams defensively, goals per game allowed. New Jersey's right down there near the bottom right now, and even Winnipeg, a bottom half of the league team in that category as well. And I think New Jersey's offense is going to score here because Winnipeg's given up too many goals. I know they got a great game stolen for them by Connor Hellebuck against San Jose on Friday night. He was absolutely.
It'll happen. Yeah, those will happen, but it's not going to happen enough times. Yeah.
No, not when you're giving up the shots and the quality chances on net that Winnipeg has. So, the game flew over the total earlier this season when the Devils and the Jets played one another. I see no reason why we can't have a repeat performance tonight. So my play of the day tonight, New Jersey, Winnipeg over 6.5 minus 114.
I love it, Ian. I actually, in my other, I had a totals article today. Every Tuesday we do the Tuesday total. So catchy. But today my pick was the Jets team total over at plus 104. And basically I took the Hurricanes over 3.5 at plus money on Saturday. It didn't come in. As long as some of these teams with good offenses are priced above plus 100, I'm happy to go against the Devils in that way until I see something different. I mean, their penalty kill is 75%. The Jets is 67%. So again, if you're looking at the full game over, there's probably going to be 2 power play goals for sure, if not more, in this game. And so I'm on the full game over like yourself, but I'm also on the Jets team total over. But even in the article, I said I can't blame anybody for taking the Devils over 2.5 because, let's be honest, the Jets are not a sound defensive team either at the moment. So really, I'm like you. It seems like you have to look over on this game. It could be an anomaly and somehow Hellebuck stands on his head again and it ends up 3-1, but I just don't think that happens often enough.
And again, New Jersey's gone over the total in 4 straight games, and I believe 6 of the last 7 have gone over the total. 6 of the last 7 New Jersey games have gone over the total. So they have been an over-trending team. And like I say, with these teams that are going over the total, I ride these total streaks with teams that are just going over the total repeatedly or under the total repeatedly. We just ride it until we see some kind of change, and we haven't seen any sort of change for New Jersey lately. They give up goals, but they can score goals, and I think we'll see that on display once again here tonight. So to recap, the double play, New Jersey, Winnipeg over 6.5 minus 114 is my play. Adam is on Vancouver minus 125 against St. Louis. That's going to wrap up our NHL double play video. Our NHL play of the day recommendations, courtesy of Sportsbook Review for Tuesday, November 5th. I'm Ian Cameron for Adam Booth. Thank you very much for watching. We're back Thursday, 10:15 a.m. Eastern Time for our next edition of the NHL double play. Good luck on this Tuesday night with all of your wagers. We'll see you